real quick. She called like 5 times during the meeting, but go ahead, I'll be right back.
We don't go ahead. We can start without a quorum, can't we?
We don't have to.
So Josh, we ready? Well, we'll go ahead and we'll call this meeting to order. Tonight's public hearing is for public comments on rezoning request and
Recording in progress.
She gets.
We don't start over. All right. Tonight's public hearing is for public comments on rezoning requests identified as dockets number ZZ-2025-54 through -060. County members present tonight are, from my right,
Peyton Blunt, District 19.
Kurt McGahee, District 21.
Britt Bradley, District 26.
Alan Mitchell, District 23.
Liz Seaman, District 24.
Gary Collins, District 27.
Planning commissioners available to view tonight's live stream of the meeting are Steve Bickle, Kenneth Machette, John Holland, Deborah Manning, William Felm, Jonelle Phillips, Frank Hammond, and Denise Franklin. Also present are county staffs are Joshua Henderson, Draper Carlisle, and Todd Batsley. Tonight's hearings were advertised in the Greenville Journal. In addition to the advertisement, public notice signs were posted on the properties and detailed information was available on the internet. In order to properly study all comments and give them due consideration, the hearing is being recorded as a matter of record. The procedure of hearing each case is as follows. Summary information about each case will be presented by the staff. The applicant, his or his representative, and anyone in favor of the rezoning request will be given the opportunity to speak for a combined total of 10 minutes. Those opposing the rezoning request will also be given an opportunity to speak for a combined total of 10 minutes. Council will not allow rebuttals from opposing sides. The Greenville County Planning Commission will make a recommendation for each case based on staff analyses and their regular meeting on August 27, 2025. The Planning Commission analyzes and recommendation along with comments made at tonight's public hearings will be discussed by County Council Planning and Development Committee September 15, 2025. At that time, the committee will prepare their recommendations to the County Council. Additional written comments by citizens may be submitted to the Planning and Zoning Office. Since passage of any zoning change will require 3 readings, the County Council a request may be denied on second reading. Tentative dates for reading for tonight's requests are as following. First reading, August 19th. Second reading, October 7th. Third reading, October 21st, all the year 2025. To assist Greenville County in reducing roadside litter, applicants should remove the public hearing notice signs from their property within the next 5 days. At this time, I will ask the staff of the Department of Zoning Administration to provide us with instructions regarding tonight's meeting and then present their first case.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of council. Good evening. Tonight's public hearing is for informational purposes only and to provide all interested parties an opportunity to speak. No votes or recommendations will be made at this meeting. This meeting is the beginning of an approximately 3-month-long process. Recommendations and votes will be made on the days provided by the chairman. All future meetings are open to the public and you are encouraged to attend. Sign-up is not required to speak at tonight's public hearing. In the event the Planning and Development Committee refers the docket back to the Planning Commission for additional public comment, or the Planning Commission recalls a docket, another opportunity will be afforded to speak for those who use the sign-up sheet located in the rear of the room. Please be aware this is only for those persons interested in becoming a party of interest in the event a docket is referred back to or recalled by the Planning Commission for additional public comment. As always, you may submit any letters, petitions, or similar information to the Office of the Zoning Administrator, Clerk to Council, or directly to council members at any time. Turn it over to Todd.
The first docket tonight is CZ-2025-054. Property is located at 259 Beacon Street and 101 Orr Street in Greenville. The applicant is Guadalupe Villar for Justin M. Morris of Morrison Lane Solutions, LLC. The 0.16 acre subject property consists of one parcel and is located approximately 0.25 miles northwest of the intersection of Guest Street and Mills Avenue, Highway 29. Currently contains a single-family dwelling under construction. This is zoning in the surrounding area. Subject property outlined here is zoned NC Neighborhood Commercial District. The request is for NCMC Neighborhood Commercial District major change. You can also see the surrounding property zones. The applicant states that the proposed land use is single-family residential. The applicant is proposing to modify the current requirements of the district to increase the allowed maximum gross building square footage from 3,000 square feet to 3,584 square feet and to allow an apartment above a proposed garage. There would also be a new driveway connection onto Orr Street. This is the subject site and photos showing the area surrounding the subject site. Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Is the applicant or his or her representative here? Is the applicant or his or her representative? Seeing none. Do we have any speakers for? Or do we have any against? I'm seeing nothing. So I guess we'll move to the next agenda.
Next docket is CZ-2025-055. Property is located at 212 Gridley Street, 214 Morris Street, and Bailey Street in Greenville. The applicant is Jessica R. Chapman of Site Design, Inc. for Greenville County Redevelopment Authority. The 1.49 acre subject property consists of 2 parcels and is located approximately 0.52 miles north of the intersection of Old Buncombe Road and Cedar Lane Road and currently contains vacant land. This is the zoning of the surrounding area. Subject property outlined here is zoned FRD Flexible Review District. The request is for FRD MC Flexible Review District major change and R7.5 Single Family Residential District. You can also see the surrounding property zones. The applicant states that the proposed land use is single family residential. The applicant is proposing to remove the southern parcel totaling 1.03 acres from the Flexible Review District and rezone it back to its previous zoning district of R7.5. The remainder FRD parcel would allow 6 residential units attached in pairs with a max gross square footage of 1,960 square feet and a maximum height of 45 feet. Homes will feature a modern farmhouse design with materials such as fiber cement or vinyl siding, asphalt shingles, standing seam metal roof, and vinyl windows. A 20-foot landscape buffer will be provided along the perimeter of the site. And this is the subject site and photos showing the area surrounding the subject site. Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Applicant or his or her representative, please come forward and give us your name and address for the record, please.
Good evening, Council. Jessica Chapman with Site Design Incorporated, 225 Rocky Creek Road, representing the Greenville County Redevelopment Authority for this project. And so a couple years ago, this project was actually approved for FRD on the north side and the south side of Morris Street. As the Greenville County Redevelopment Authority has continued to progress in their development, they've realized that the townhome regime is difficult for them to actually sell because the cost associated with insurance of a horizontal regime makes it cost prohibitive to their intended workforce development. And so they're looking at keeping the north side as the townhomes and rezoning the south side to single family and putting in single family residents there to better meet the needs of those that their intended target is, which is workforce, versus making it, I believe it was an additional $400 a month in the townhome setup for insurance. And so the development on the north side, the design wouldn't change from what was already approved through Greenville County Land Development. And so we would just basically be peeling off that portion, and then the south side would be less dense with single family than what was previously approved.
Any questions for the applicant? Any questions? Seeing none? Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Anyone else to speak in favor? Anyone? Seeing none, or do we have any opposition? Seeing none, let's move to the next docket.
The next docket is CZ-2025-056. The property is located at 913 and 915 Lakeview Circle in Greer. The applicants are Clayton H. Pakala and Tara J. Pakala of Pakala Revocable Trust. The 1.23 acre subject property consists of 1 parcel and is located approximately 0.44 miles northwest of the intersection of Locust Hill Road, Highway 290, and O'Neill Road, Highway 101. It currently contains a single-family residence. This is the zoning and surrounding area. Subject property outlined here is zoned RS, Residential Suburban District. The request is for R15, Single-Family Residential District. You can also see the surrounding property zones. The applicant states that the proposed land use is single-family residential. This is the subject site and photos showing the area surrounding the subject site. Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Is the applicant here or his representative? If you are, come talk to us and give us your name and your address, please.
All right. Yeah, my name's Clayton Pakla, and I live at 915 Lakeview Circle. And we're here to rezone our property to R15 in order to split off a lot and to build a new single-family residence next door to 915. Under the current RS zoning, the lot lines would have to be kind of awkward to go. You'd have to kind of go along the whole back side of the property to obtain the 25,000 square feet that you need right now. And so we're trying to rezone to R15. I don't know if you want this example of what they're proposing. But I have an example of what they're proposing. But so yeah, we're just trying to rezone it to make the lot lines fit the community. And there being that there's already R15 kind of across the street, we just kind of want to match the zoning, kind of go that way. But yeah, most of the, if you look on the same side of the street as what we're at, a lot of the lots are kind of smaller than the RS zoning right now. A lot of them are about 16 to 18,000 square foot lots right now. So we're just proposing to shrink our lot. Sorry, I'm getting all jumbled up here, but
Can you throw back up the
That's the proposed.
satellite overlay, please?
at our RS zoning, that's what they're proposing. And so we just want to have straight lot lines,
So if they
straight in a rectangle, you know?
Okay. Yeah, so you're planning to build a house in the new green
Yeah, just a
highlighted
single
area?
family house right next door. So we just don't want to take that awkward strip from behind. So that's what they're proposing. Right now, we're allowed to do that, I guess, and
Any questions? Thank you, sir.
yeah, thank you.
Do we have anyone else speaking in favor of this docket? Anyone? Seeing none. Do we see any opposed to this docket? Seeing none, let's move on to the next docket.
The next docket is CZ-2025-057. Property is located at 10696 Old White Horse Road and McElhaney Road in Travelers Rest. The applicants are Joseph M. Turner and Erica L. Turner. The 1.85 acre subject property consists of one parcel and is located at the intersection of Old White Horse Road and McElhaney Road and currently contains vacant land. This is the zoning of the surrounding area. Subject property outlined here is zoned C2 Commercial District. The request is for RS Residential Suburban District. You can also see the surrounding property zones. The applicant states that the proposed land use is single-family residential. This is the subject site and photos showing the area surrounding the subject site. Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Is the applicant or his or her representative here? Thank you. If you come give us your name and your address, please.
Yep, Joseph Turner and 106 Richmond Drive, Greenville, South Carolina.
Thank you.
We recently purchased the corner lot on McElhaney and Old White Horse, hoping to rezone it to residential for single family. And it'll just have one house on the property. Spoke to the neighbors and most of them are in support. They're hoping to not see a Dollar General or anything else, kind of like down the street. I'm sure y'all dealt with that a few months ago. So everyone was very in favor for the purchase. So.
Any questions?
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, sir, Mr. Blunt.
I would just like to say that I've been trying to figure out why there was a C2 parcel here since I've been on council 3 years ago. So I'm actually somewhat excited for reasons I don't even know that we're addressing this and turning it back to a different color. So that's all I have. Thank you.
Any other questions? Thank you, sir. Anyone else to speak in favor of this docket? Seeing none. Anyone to speak opposed to this docket? Seeing none, we'll move to the next docket.
Is CZ-2025-058. Property is located at 1451 Donaldson Road and Augusta Road in Greenville. The applicant is Justin M. Beasley for Roberts SE Land Greenville LLC. The 3.32 acre subject property consists of one parcel and is located at the intersection of Donaldson Road and Augusta Road, Highway 25. It currently contains a vacant building. This is the zoning of the surrounding area. Subject property outlined here is Zone C2 Commercial District. The request is for S1 Services District. You can also see the surrounding property zones. The applicant states that the proposed land use is distribution. This is a subject site and photos showing the area surrounding the subject site. Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. The applicant or his or her representative here? If you would, come up and give us your name and your address and your plans.
Justin M. Beasley. Of course, property is 1451 Donaldson Road. Intended use, again, Roberts Oxygen, industrial gas, distribution, welding supplies. And it's pretty much exactly what you said there. I do have a petition in favor of the rezoning. I didn't know if that's something we should turn in here or submit.
Give it to,
Okay. All right, perfect. Appreciate your time.
any questions? Do we have
Any
any
questions?
questions? Being none, thank you, sir.
All right, thank you.
Do I have anybody else speaking in favor of this docket? Anyone speaking in favor? Seeing none, do we have any opposed to this docket? Seeing none, we'll move to the next docket.
The next docket is CZ-2025-059. Property is located at 931 Anderson Road in Greenville. The applicant is Nicholas Graham of Infinity Exchange Group, LLC. The 0.13 acre subject property consists of one parcel and is located approximately 0.5 miles southwest of the intersection of Dunbar Street and Anderson Road, Highway 81. It currently contains vacant land. This is the zoning of the surrounding area. Subject property outlined here is Zone C2 Commercial District. The request is for R7.5 Single Family Residential District. You can also see the surrounding property zones. The applicant states that the proposed land use is single family residential. This is the subject site and photos showing the area surrounding the subject site. Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Is the applicant or his or her representative here? If you'll come and give us your name and your address and kind of what your plans are.
Hello. My name is Nicholas Graham. Property address is 931 Anderson Road, Greenville County, 29601. Here today because the property was recently zoned from R7.5. It was recently zoned R.75 for the last 42 years, and also previously had a hearing of a variance request that was approved in August of 22 based on the R75 zoning that has been noted on the zoning map for over 40 years. We just recently received a letter in the mail in May, the end of May, that we were written a notice to let us know the current property was incorrectly shown on the official zoning map as being rezoned to R75 single family residential district without actually having been a part of a rezoning docket that says this will be corrected on our records. Show that there was so basically what our goal here is to the project. The property originally had a single family residential home on it that was demolished, and the incorrect due to the county. However, the property was mistakenly included in the docket in 1983. So in 1983, it was zoned from C2 to R75. And we actually had a variance that we did back in '22 that was approved based on the R75 zoning that it had been zoned as for the last 40-plus years. And so now what we're needing to do is we want to build a single-family home on it. The surrounding area, all the properties around it are also residential now, just ours now. It's showing commercial, but it was never intended to be commercial. It's been like that since like 1973. So we're just want to put a single-family home on there. Like I said, we've already had a variance request that was approved in '22 based on it being R75. So we had a hearing that at that time, it had been showing on the county map that it was R75. So like I said, this just popped up out of nowhere in May saying that, oh, that was a mistake by the county 42 years ago, that they just accidentally included it in another docket that was all of those homes surrounding it were put into one big cluster of rezoning to R75, and ours was just mistakenly put in there back in '83. So this whole time it's been saying R75. We just want to push it back to R75 and continue to keep the variance that we were already approved for in 2022 so we can build the single-family residential home on the lot.
Have any questions? Any
Mr.
questions?
Chairman? I guess it's for staff, is the question. Obviously, if they're already treating it as R7.5 through the variance, and if it was supposed to be, is it something that they would have to go through this process for if it wasn't intended to ever be C2?
Staff met with our legal counsel, and I can let Todd go into a little bit of the history and detail about what happened here. But we met with our legal counsel, and they said that this was the legal way to go about this, unfortunately, was to correct the mistake on the map. And then if it was desired to be a dwelling, to go through the rezoning process that would allow that dwelling.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Chairman.
And Mr. Chairman, if you'd like, I'd like for Todd to maybe just give a brief, explanation of how we got to where we are today.
Todd?
Yeah, so the property was initial zoned in 1973 to C2, as all these C2 properties on the map here were. There was a rezoning docket, and I believe it was 83. In 83, the properties that you see on the map here zoned R7.5. That docket in 83 was to rezone those properties from C2 to R7.5. As the years went on and the zoning map was updated, somehow there was an error in the parcel, in the zoning district boundaries. So this gentleman's parcel was shown as R7.5 in later maps, but we had no record of that change ever occurring. To our knowledge, there's never been a rezoning request that included this specific parcel, so it has consistently been C2. Even though the property has been residential in the past, probably predating zoning, but there's not a house on the property now. There hasn't been for a period that exceeds past our non-conforming our sectional non-conforming properties. It's already past the 6 months for that. So for them to put a new house on the property, it would have to become residential at this point.
Mr. Mitchell?
Mr. Chairman and the staff, I don't see where it's fair for us to have a citizen have to come and go through this process when we made a mistake. And somehow I'd like for us to not do something like this in the future. But now that we're here, can we look at the whole area around there to make sure that there's no other mistakes so that we can do all of this at one time? Because he's coming as an individual, and this was done through the county. So.
We have, and I'll just say I've been with Greenville County for 6 years, and this is not the first time. This is probably about the 5th time, at least, that this has happened, where we've come across incorrect coloring on our maps. And if you're not familiar with our zoning maps, we have sections of maps that have been cut up that have been taken and color penciled over, X-Acto knives used to cut out the lamination, pieces of construction paper put in there on parcels of varying colors. The colors don't match up to what, it might be purple, but next door is also purple, but it's just a little bit shade different. So we gotta, it's very difficult, and I think, this situation, I don't really know how they went about doing that, but once again, when we met with legal staff to go over this, they said that legally this is the best way to go through that.
So we're saying that anytime this happens, whoever owns the property has to come and go through the process of requesting a rezoning, even though we made the mistake.
If it's something that they want to do where the zoning does not permit that use, yes. Okay,
but the zoning did permit that use, is what he's saying.
The zoning was incorrect on the map. So for the last 40 years, we were incorrectly showing that it was R7.5. It's never been R7.5. So by state law, it's been C2.
Okay.
So we did, if I'm not mistaken, I think we did waive the fee, or we should have waived the fee.
I paid the fee.
You paid the fee, we'll get with you on that.
Yeah.
That was supposed to be waived.
That was my next question.
Yeah,
so-
I'll,
3 text messages while I'm sitting here like, should he have to pay?
that was, I obviously missed in relay, that was supposed to have been waived, and we'll get that corrected. We'll work on that first thing in the morning.
We should also pay him for his time.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
All right. Any other questions? Thank you, sir.
Okay. Can I say one thing, just to make sure? When it, if so, permitted to stay in R75, that variance hearing that was already previously approved, like needing that to be, would that be like, would it stand then for us to build? Because we already went through a hearing that showed that that was what made the property conformity to being able to be built there.
Yes, it will still stand.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Thank you so much.
Good. Anybody else want to speak on behalf? Anybody else? Anybody speak against? Seeing none, we'll go to the next docket, please.
The next docket is CZ-2025-060. The property is located at West Blue Ridge Drive, Aladdin Street, and Evergreen Street in Greenville. The applicant is Chip Coker for CEW Greenville LLC. The 3.79 acre subject property consists of one parcel and is located approximately 0.06 miles south of the Old Buncombe Road and West Blue Ridge Drive, Highway 253 intersection, and currently contains vacant land. This is the zoning of the surrounding area. Subject property outlined here is zoned C1 Commercial District and R7.5 Single Family Residential District. The request is for RM10 Multifamily Residential District. You can also see the surrounding property zones. The applicant states that the proposed land use is a townhome development. This is the subject site and photos showing the area surrounding the subject site. Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Is the applicant or her representative here? Name and address for the record. I think I know it, but.
Are we sure that zoning's correct on this one, Doug?
Not sure about that now.
Yeah, good evening, council. My name is Paul Harrison. I'm with Blue Water Civil Design, and I'm here tonight on behalf of the applicant for this application to rezone from C1 to RM10 Multifamily Residential District. I got a little, I think we do. Can I pop that slide, couple slides up to just kind of walk through this real quick, and then I think the applicant and the developers here to answer any questions that you may have, and I think there's some other people here to speak as well. So, like, this is located directly across from the, I think it's just referred to as Cone Mills or whatever on Highway 253, and I think that site is undergoing redevelopment right now as we speak, I think. I'm not as familiar about that project, but this property is on C1, and we're asking for a portion of it to be rezoned to RM10. Some of the property is zoned R7.5 as well, which I think you can see on the next slide maybe, or on the zoning. It was present on the zoning map. So the northern piece, the .82 acres, we would just, we would subdivide the property and we would keep that the C1 zoning. You can see that magenta line that's shown on this illustration. That's basically the floodplain. So floodplain actually encumbers a good bit of this property. The RM10 would become 3.79 acres, and like Todd said, the intent is for a single-family townhome attached product on the property. Next slide. This basically just highlights the future land use map. It shows this area being a traditional neighborhood. So we feel like we do fit in the future land use plan in the current Greenville County Comp Plan, which allows for 6 to 20 dwelling units per acre. And then I think the last slide is just some illustrations kind of showing a potential example of what we would like to build. So you're talking about somewhere around 29 to 30 units, just because the property is encumbered by floodplain. There's buffers that we have to provide and other things. And then access would come directly off of 253. So that's kind of what we're proposing. Like I said, the applicant is here, and they can answer any questions. I can answer any questions while I'm still up here, but I do think there's some representatives from the surrounding community that would like to speak as well.
Have any questions? Councilman Blunt.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Just out of curiosity, I know 253, obviously, we get our share of traffic over there. As far as the entrance, is there any concern or need for a lane to get into the development, or is it just going to be a simple turn-in process?
We have, we've actually spoken to DOT. We've had a preliminary conversation and shared a site plan with them. And they basically said, you'll have to meet the ARMS manual, but there's no need for a TIA at this point. So
Okay.
They were not overly concerned about 30 townhomes.
Okay. Thank you.
Any other questions? All right. Thank you, sir. Do we have,
Thank
do we have
you.
anyone else to speak in favor of this?
Good evening, y'all.
Name and address for the record, sir.
My name is Ben Lord. I live at 406 Rogers Avenue, and I'm the president of the Sans Souci Neighborhood Alliance. Dear Council and members of the Planning Commission, the Sans Souci Neighborhood Alliance would like to offer our support for the proposed rezoning of the parcel located along Blue Ridge Drive, or 253, from C1 to allow for the construction of townhomes on the site. We are very appreciative that the property owner took the initiative to engage with our neighborhood early in the process. That willingness to collaborate reflects the kind of thoughtful development we hope to see more of in Sans Souci. We believe additional housing options, particularly those that promote home ownership, which didn't realize they were all rentals, so may need to revise that a little bit, promote home ownership and provide reasonable density can be a positive step for our community. At the same time, it's important that growth is approached in a way that aligns with the existing character and infrastructure of the neighborhood. As already noted, Blue Ridge Drive experiences significant traffic volumes and poses safety concerns for pedestrians and drivers alike. We urge the county to consider improvements to this corridor, such as the installation of a center median or other traffic calming measures for this development and as others move forward. Imagine trying to make a left out of this property. We also encourage the design of the townhome development to include connections, whether by foot, bike, or other means, to nearby residential streets. These access points would help new residents become part of the wider neighborhood rather than forming an exclusive enclave. In addition, we ask that the wooded area near the stream, while currently protected by a buffer, that those protections be honored, that this area be left as undisturbed as possible, and that additionally that a great green space throughout the property be preserved as much as possible. Preserving mature trees and minimizing land disturbance in that location could lay the groundwork for future green space that connects with nearby floodplain parcels on Aladdin Street, offering long-term environmental and recreational benefits for the neighborhood. We're grateful to the property owner for reaching out to us and showing interest in working alongside the neighborhood. That spirit of cooperation is encouraging, and we thank you all tonight for your attention to our comments as you consider this request, and we'll be submitting this letter.
Thank you, sir. Do we have anyone else speaking in favor of this docket? Anyone else? Seeing none, do we have any opposed to this docket? Name and address for the record, sir.
My name is George Lenza. I live at 300 Donnybrook Avenue, and I represent about 22 individuals that live along Donnybrook and Aladdin and Evergreen. The opposition should be quite obvious. That land is a buffer between Blue Ridge and these residents. Some of these residents have been here over 50 years. It is to our knowledge that that buffer also is a sound deadening to all these individuals that live there. They've lived there most of their lives. And quite honestly, there is no other configuration like that as far as townhomes in any vicinity like that. This is a single residential area. That doesn't meet that type of requirement. It not only looks obvious to us, but it isn't. These are all single family around here. That's not something, that they want to see. That's part of the opposition. There's also a lot of environmental impact that comes with disturbing that property. It's a very difficult property to begin with, and it is directly across the street from what we see, what's going on right now, which was a Superfund site. I'm sure all you understand that. It's a tremendous difference for what's going to happen there. It's not as simple as other people might think. I've been involved in developing property for a good part of my life. I hope you consider that and understand where we're coming from, and we would like to see everything transparent on what's going to go on that property. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else to speak against this docket?
Good evening. My name is Victor Seipert. I live at 302 Donnybrook. This property, this development is in my backyard. And I'm with George. I would also like to mention the Sans Souci Alliance Association has made a presentation to they're sending a letter. I'm a part of that. I live in Sans Souci. I'm not a part of that letter. I was not even informed about it, that they were sending this to the council so that it could be approved, or that they were sending their approval. As I mentioned, this is my backyard. I sit on my patio. I see hawks. I see owls. I see groundhogs, all kinds of nature out there. So I'm very concerned about the green space and the buffer of the noise that would come from there. Thank you.
Thank you.
Sir, just point of clarification. Did you say that you are or are not a part of the neighborhood association?
I consider myself a part of the neighborhood association. I pay dues.
Yep. And to clarify on the letter, we took a vote as a board, and it moved pretty quickly, so.
No, he answered my question. Thank you.
All right. I just need one more motion so we can adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Let's go.
Recording stopped.
We done. You don't have to do it on this.
Come on, Rick.